Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Neurodiversity in Tech, or ND Tech as we call it, Summer Internship Showcase. My name is Pamela Cosman, and I'm a professor and also the chair of the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. I'm also the director of this internship program. So let me tell you briefly the basics of the program. It's 9 weeks long. It is a workforce development program. It started first in 2018, and we've been running it since then. It's focused on creation of educational video games. All the interns work in teams. We have 4 teams this year, and there's 3 to 6 interns per team with 18 total. So it's a half-time program. We have 2 teams that work in the morning and 2 teams that work in the afternoon. And then at Tuesdays and Thursdays at lunchtime, all 4 teams are present where we have our professional development sessions, and also the teams can do play testing of each other's games. So you might ask, why are we doing this? So neurodiversity, which encompasses autism spectrum condition, ADHD, and learning differences, is a growing population, and there can be really high unemployment, particularly for people on the spectrum. So the need, as we see it, is for both training on durable hard skills and tools for tech jobs, and also trying to support soft skills needed for employment. We very much view this as a two-way street. So this isn't just trying to upskill potential future employees, which is important, but also we view that employers need to make changes as well in terms of their hiring and retention processes. And so this program has been doing research as well related to that side of things. You might ask, why video games? So for one thing, they're fun, and it's a common interest of young people. Also, people on the spectrum are heavily represented in the game industry. There was a study out of the UK a few years ago which found that 18% of the employees in the video game industry identify as neurodivergent. There's also a range of skills needed for this. We don't just have programmers. We also need game artists. We need game designers. We need people who can do audio or project management. And it can almost more or less fit within a summer. So obviously 9 weeks half-time is not enough to make a completely fleshed out game that people can play for an hour, but it's definitely enough time to get a prototype off the ground and have a proof of concept. Also, this is a growing industry, so not just growing in terms of games for entertainment, but also serious games, which is the side that we're interested in, so games for education, for healthcare, and other purposes. The interns have a number of different roles. So the artists are learning software for game art, including Fire Alpaca, Procreate, and Krita. They're making objects and immersive background and user interface elements. We have designers, and so they're learning software tools for design, and they're designing the game experience for the players and creating mock-ups. And then there's a programmer who's using the Unity game engine, which is based on C# and the Visual Studio Code editor. So they're scripting object behaviors and movements and interactions and user interface. So our smallest team just has these 3 roles, but then we have some teams that have a second programmer. We have some teams with a project manager using the project tracking software Jira and leading daily stand-ups and organizing tasks and so forth. And then also one team has a sound designer. So that's our largest team with 6 people. So that's the sort of the structure with the interns. There's a number of other people associated with the program. So the coaches are young adults who have an understanding of neurodivergence and a background in either game art or game coding, and they're in the room with the interns every day. So they're providing coaching on the technical work, the software, and also on things like workplace communications and how to build a resume or a LinkedIn profile and so forth. This year, we were fortunate to have 3 wonderful coaches. So Isabel Merced Galindo is a current student at USC in their program on interactive media and game design. And Taro Zhou just graduated from USC in that same program. And Emmett Ng is a graduate of UC San Diego in the visual arts major that's on the program in computing and the arts. So those are our 3 coaches this year. Now, we also have clients, and the clients are volunteers who are specifying the game concept and the goals. So they're meeting weekly with the team. And the idea here is that the interns are not being allowed to just come in and say, make any game you feel like it, first-person shooter, whatever you want. No, that's not how it functions. Rather, the interns come in and have to have the experience of being responsive to a client. So the client is setting the educational goals and has the vision for the game. And then the interns have to figure out how to creatively execute on that vision and meet those educational goals. So this year, 2 of the coaches, Professor Nick Antipa and Professor Michael Yip, were from my department of electrical and computer engineering. We also have Dr. Dominique Risolo, who's with the Qualcomm Institute's Cultural Heritage Engineering Initiative. And then we have the duo that's external to UCSD of Dr. Lisa Hardy with the Concord Consortium. They do science education for the public. And Matt Lewandowski, who's from the Team to Bit Game Studio. In addition, we have mentors who are industry professionals who are providing a variety of different support to our interns. So they might be providing technical advice on software, on coding. They can give feedback on resumes. 2 of them gave sessions about the game industry. 1 of them gave a session about workplace accommodations for neurodivergence and so forth. This summer, we had 3 mentors, Dr. Tru Shang from Sony Interactive Entertainment, Rebecca Culp from Northrop Grumman, and Brian Bartram, who until this month was with Massive Entertainment, that is one of the Ubisoft studios. And then on the leadership side, besides myself, there's Professor Shauna Cohen, who's in the Department of Education Studies. She's an autism researcher, and she does the program evaluation, so all of the pre and post surveys, and was also responsible for designing many of the professional development sessions. And Dr. Neil Smith, who's with the Qualcomm Institute here at UCSD. He is a cyber archaeologist, so you all can ask him what that means afterwards. And he's a serious games expert who has been helping our interns with game programming and design. So Emmett, who's one of the coaches, is also our program coordinator. And then there's a couple of graduate student researchers who've been developing the virtual reality mock job interview. So most of the interns participated in that and did the practice interviewing in VR this summer. The internship is constantly evolving. So one of the things that we had new for this year, which we've never done before, is the senior intern team. So Hugh Hunt is a game that we started last summer with a 5-person team, and then we brought it back this summer with 3 of the same interns who are now senior interns. And they're really trying to bring this game to the next level. So it's going to be ready now to be used during the year in elementary school and middle school educational outreach. Also, last summer was a hybrid experiment where we had one day a week that was remote, and we've brought it back to be fully in person now. This year, for the first time, we brought in structured play testing, which one of the teams will tell you about. And we also had a number of more minor changes, like putting in an orientation session prior to the program start. So we are constantly evaluating the program, and it is always evolving. The educational elements are a variety of different softwares depending on which team you're on and which role. But then there's some things that are in common for all teams. They're all using the project management software Jira. They're using Discord as a communication platform. They're using Git, which is for content repository and version control for software. And then on the professional development side, we have these weekly, actually twice a week, lunch and learn sessions for professional development on many different aspects, building resumes, LinkedIn profiles, public speaking, teamwork skills, and so forth. So all of this is coming together to finally make a game.